Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we will be continuing the same chapter which we had started before your second online test. Okay, that is chapter 4, energy. We were discussing about different types of simple machine. In that particular chapter we have already discussed about lever and its types, right? Today we will be carrying forward with the other types of simple machine. Okay, the other one would be, first we will be taking inclined plane. Okay, now if you look at the figure that's given alongside, what can you see? That the laborers, they are trying to upload the big drums from a ground level into the truck. Okay, how are they lifting it? Are they casually carrying it and then placing it on the truck? No. What have they done? They have used a plank. And how have they placed the plank? They have placed the plank in such a way that one end is touching the truck and another one is on the ground. That means the plank is moving from lower to the higher side. Okay, so here it's also a simple machine. Here you can see a slanted piece of structure which is helping in carrying the load easily onto the truck. So that's a inclined plane. Okay, inclined plane is a slanted surface with the help of which many of the heavy loads can be easily transferred into other surface. Okay, like here you can see that the laborer are lifting the load onto the truck with the help of a plank. If there would be no plank, it would be very difficult for them to carry the heavy load, but with the help of that slanted surface they are easily pushing it up onto the truck. So that's an example of an inclined plane. Okay, now under the inclined plane, other types of inclined plane are your screw and wedge. You all have seen screw, right? If you have not seen, just look at the picture that's given alongside. Okay, you all have seen that. What is that used for? That is used in order, if you want to join something together, then so with the help of screw you join the two different planks together. Okay, now but in this case you are not being able to see the slanted plane. Then how is screw a inclined plane? In this case, if you look at the screw properly, the screw has a circular plane. Okay, your slanted plane has been rolled up. Okay, so it is in a circular manner. It is not slanted, but it has been rolled up into a surface. Okay, but it's an application of inclined plane only. With the help of simple hammer you cannot insert the screw. With the help of screwdriver only you can insert the screw in order to join anything together. Okay, if your car breaks down in the middle of the road because of something entering the tire, that means puncture of a tire takes place, what do? Have you ever seen your dad taking out the screw jack from the vehicle and then simply rolling up the screw jack under the vehicle so that your vehicle is lifted upwards, and then he simply removes the tire, takes the tire to the mechanic where it can be mended, right? He doesn't carry the vehicle to that particular place because that cannot be done, right? So he simply takes out the screw jack, and then with the help of screw jack he lifts up the vehicle and then takes out the punctured tire and takes it to the mechanic where it can be mended. Okay, so those are the examples of your screw application, uses of a screw. Okay, so it's also a type of an inclined plane. Now another one is your wedge. You all have seen knife, you all have seen X, right? So those are also the example of an inclined plane. Now but this inclined plane moves. What do you use for knife for? In order to cut something, chop off something. Like if you want to eat an apple How do you cut it into pieces? With the help of a knife. Okay, knife have a two, it has a, you just simply move this inclined ways can be moved, and then any substance can be chopped off. Okay, so wedge is also an application of an inclined plane. Those are just the examples of an inclined plane and the uses. You just have to know those things. Okay, now other example further carrying out with the simple machine, if we have wheel and axle. Okay, you all have bicycles, you all have seen a bicycle wheel. You have one big circular thing, that's a wheel, and in middle also you have one circular structure, but that's smaller in size, that's an axle. Okay, with the help of wheel, what do you usually do it for? In order to reduce the friction, rolling friction, we have already discussed, right? Rolling friction, in order to produce that. Okay, so with the help of wheel, your axle is rotated, and then it can be that particular vehicle or such thing that you are trying to move easily moves. Okay, so wheel and axle is also an example of a simple machine, because machine is what? It helps in making any work easier. So your wheel, if there would be no wheel, would you be able to ride the bicycle? No, right? So your movement of the bicycle is made easier with the help of a wheel. Okay, so wheel and axle is also an example of your simple machine. Another one is your pulley. Okay, pulley, example of a pulley, well-known example would be your, if you have seen a well, and if you want to carry out the water from the well, pull out the water from the well, what do? You simply you have a long rope into which in one end you have a bucket. You put that bucket into the well, and then you pull out the rope, right? So that's an example of a pulley. Okay, so in our next, pulley is also a simple machine. Okay, that's one of the pulling out the water from the well is an example. There also you apply a pulley system. You have one fixed wheel, and you have a rope where you apply a effort, and then you pull out the water from the well. Okay, so those are also the example of a types of a simple machine. In our next class, we will be discussing in detail about parts of pulley and the two types of pulley, that is movable pulley and fixed pulley, in detail, and how can we take care of the machine. Okay, so I would advise you to go through types of lever and whatever simple machine that we have discussed till now. Okay, in our next class we will be dealing in detail about pulley. Thank you.